All right, let's talk about something I think we've all felt. That moment when the lights go out, your head hits the pillow, and suddenly your anxiety just skyrockets. Today, we're going to dive into exactly why that happens.
It's such a common thing, right? You could have a totally fine day, you're handling things, you're putting out little fires. But then, the second it's quiet and dark, some tiny little worry from 3 p.m., like an email you sent or a weird comment someone made, it just blows up. Suddenly, it feels like this massive, world-ending emergency.
And that's the crazy part, isn't it? It's a total paradox. Your body is screaming at you that it's done. Your muscles ache, your eyes feel heavy, you are physically, completely wiped out and ready for sleep.
But the second you close your eyes, your brain apparently decides, nope, it's marathon time. It just takes off, right? It starts replaying every single conversation you had, auditing every little choice you made, and basically running simulations of every single worst-case scenario for tomorrow. It's exhausting.
So what is going on here? You might be thinking, is my brain broken? Is something wrong with me? And the answer is a huge, resounding no. There's actually a really fascinating reason for this, and it all comes down to how our minds work when they're left alone.
Okay, so think of it this way. It's something we can call the near vacuum effect. All day long, your brain is busy. It's got work, chores, Netflix, conversations. It's constantly distracted. But at night, all of that just fades away, and it creates this vacuum. And our brains absolutely hate an empty space, so they rush to fill it with something. And often that something defaults to our most primal feelings. Worry, fear. It's kind of like the brain's screensaver mode, and it's not always a relaxing one.
You've probably heard the saying, a wandering mind is an unhappy mind. And there's a lot of truth to that. Without a specific job to do, our imagination just gets to run wild. And that's when those tiny little mistakes from the day get put under a microscope and blown up into these catastrophic future events. Again, this isn't a flaw in your design. It's just what an unfocused brain does.
Okay, so we've established this is a pretty natural thing. But that doesn't make it feel any better, right? So how can we think about this differently, in a way that doesn't feel so terrifying? Well, there's a really powerful metaphor that can completely change how you see your nervous system.
So often, it feels like our nervous system is just broken, right? Like it's malfunctioning. But what if it's not broken at all? What if it's just a motor running without a load? Think about it. During the day, that powerful engine, your brain, is fully engaged. It's carrying the load of your daily tasks. But at night, the motor is still running, the engine is still revving, but the load is gone. And all that powerful energy has to go somewhere. So it just spins out into anxiety.
So that's the why. But understanding it is only half the battle. The real question is, what can we actually do about it when that motor is just revving and revving? Let's get practical. Here is a super simple, super effective tool you can use to give that motor a gentle, calming job to do.
Now, before I walk you through this, let's be really clear about the goal. The point here is not to fight your anxiety. You're not trying to wrestle it to the ground. It's so much simpler and kinder than that. All you're doing is gently telling your brain, hey, we're safe. We're right here, right now, in this bed. You're just pulling it out of all those crazy what-ifs and grounding it in the real world.
Okay, so here's how you do it. While you're lying there in bed, just calmly, in your head, name 5 things you can actually see. It could be the moonlight on the ceiling, the shape of your alarm clock. Then find 4 things you can physically feel. The texture of your blanket, maybe the cool spot on your pillow. Next, listen for 3 different sounds. Maybe it's the hum of the fridge or a car outside. Then 2 things you can smell. And finally, 1 thing you can taste. It's that simple. By scanning through your senses, you're literally giving your racing mind a gentle task, anchoring it in the here and now.
So we've got the science behind why this happens, we've got a new way to think about it, and a real tool you can use tonight. Let's finish up with one last idea. Think of this as an invitation to just let go.
I want you to think about this for a second. You would never stay up all night just staring at a sink full of dirty dishes, right? You just trust that you'll deal with them in the morning. So what if we could treat our worries the same way? What would it feel like to look at all those anxious thoughts, see them as today's dishes, and just leave them for tomorrow? To give yourself permission to simply rest.